Okay, 2020 has been a rough year, and when I say rough, I mean rough. Being cooped in the house all day, every time you turn on the news, there's something bad going on in the world. And well, what were we gonna do? What was you gonna do? Me? I played a lot of video games. A lot required my full attention, like Resident Evil 5, like Persona 5, Kingdom Hearts, and all that. And most of those games I streamed. There was one game I didn't even stream. I barely even talked about me playing it, but I played a hell of a lot of it. I even waited until like everyone was asleep so I could play with no interruption. And that is the game Blue Reflection. If you were like me, you grew up with Toonami, and me, I like the usual Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and Gundam. But I also like something that a lot of, how do I put it, males in the early 2000s did not like, and that was Sailor Moon. I essentially got to play a Sailor Moon game because that's exactly what this game is. This game essentially let me play out the magical girl obsession I used to have when I was a kid. Cause trust me, it wasn't just Sailor Moon, it was like Magical Doremi, Wedding Peach was one of them that I also enjoyed. There's a lot of magical girl animes I actually enjoyed, and I still somewhat like the genre, just haven't found any new or interesting ones. I know it's weird, but hey, kinda have to think outside the box. But here, this is kind of a surprise and new type of review, so I'm going to talk about the game that helped me get through this chaotic time in my life. What helped me get through a lot of time in my life. Because quarantine really did have an effect on me. But Blue Reflection kind of gave me an out. Gave me something I could do while I wasn't really focused on streaming or making content. Or, school or the summer. Or even going outside. So let's talk about Blue Reflection. So the story is kind of weird, but it's a very simple one. Basically, we follow an ex-ballerina as she pretty much had to go to a new school after breaking her leg. She doesn't break it, she kind of messes it up. Really weird. And she meets two other girls. Now, the first girl she meets actually is the one who gives her a mysterious ring that allows her to transform and go into these things known as the cosmic world. Think of Persona 5, but with magical girl transformations and all that. Each girl that you ever talk to or meet in this is pretty much going to give you a background to their stories, and you can go to the dungeon to go and defeat their distortion, meaning their problems. This kind of helped them with their problems instead of, stealing their hearts. I know it's a little bit more of a rated PG story, but it's really fun on how it does it. Anyhow, the main reason I like the story is that I like the characters and how close they are. Okay, personal story break. Before quarantine, college was where most of my friends were made. But I barely get along with my family nowadays, and making friends was rare for me back in high school. I always kind of fell into either a different type of group, but while I made those friends, they didn't stay with me permanently. Then I got to college and I learned what, friends were. And while it kind of sounds corny, I learned a lot from that. When I look at those characters and I see when I look at the main character, Hanako, interact with her friends, I see a bit of myself in it. Because she wasn't so open. She was actually closed off in the beginning of the game. And it was really hard for her to actually build up relationships. Even when her rival from her past comes back, she builds up a friendship with her. But it's very closed off. She's very much a very harsh character, and I kind of can relate to that. I kind of am the same way. I wasn't really open, when I first started college, I wasn't really open or like talking to much people. My first year, I was legit alone 99.9%. Well, I still have my friends that I met on the internet and Discord and through YouTube. It was like, what did I have when I wasn't there? And that's what this game kind of let me see. That Hanako, it took her a while to make the 3 close friends that she does have by the end of the game. And by the beginning of the game, while they're friends, they're not like super close. That's what I like. Persona and this do have that in common, but with here, the game doesn't focus on just the dungeons or leveling up. The game actually focuses on day-to-day tasks or what the girls are doing. And that's kind of really awesome. These young women are going through problems of their own, so you get to actually see more of the human side of them. Some may be, the nerdy girl who want to study and feel like she had to pretty much prove herself to everyone else. The sporty girl that plays basketball and just wants to be the best basketball player. And possibly want to get drafted in the thing. I don't know. I don't know how the WNBA really works in Japan, but you know, she kind of fired. She got them good old hoops. But yeah, I remember when quarantine happened that this game kind of hit a lot better because, well, as much as I could Zoom my friends, text, and Discord, I miss when we could go out to the movies or, you know, go and see each other. And again, while quarantine took a big mental toll on me, which I've talked about on Twitter, but I don't feel comfortable talking about it right here, right now, this game just kind of lets you see what it's like to truly appreciate your friends. And I know it sounds fucking corny, but that's what this story did. It didn't really focus on the gameplay, but I'm gonna get into that now because actually how the story moves and all that is through the gameplay. And it's gonna be kind of weird to explain it. I warning, you will be reading a lot in this game, and unless you speak Japanese, then you will be listening a lot. Basically, you take different jobs that send you to palace-like dungeons to fight distortion. The combat isn't the highlight though. The game moves like a TV show / anime where it's episodic. Think like this girl has a problem and everyone tries to help her find it. The help lead to distortion, and then you and your friends gotta get into that dungeon and kick some distortion ass. Honestly, this game isn't for everyone, just for the simple fact that it's a story-based game. And to be fair, it kind of you find yourself more interested in the story than leveling up or just fighting bosses. Because the bosses are kind of easy to get through when you're at a certain level. Not just that, but the game moves at a very, very fast snail pace. And the combat is pretty good, but it's like, if you have a brain cell, you're gonna win. And you're gonna get good pretty easy. Now, the art style is amazing, which is, well, surprising considering that they used a similarly kind of overused Unreal Engine, but they only used what looked like assets from them and they customized and made them look a lot better. I generally love it. I love how the three main party members look, and I love their outfit designs as well as pretty much all the other characters. And I like how the cutscenes are well animated. They're not, you know, spectacular, but they are really well animated. The bosses and the enemy types are amazing too, giving you a wide variety of what you face off against. Music was also unexpected. While I was expecting a more calmer melodic style, like just a little bit more soothing, no, it's only soothing when you're in the real world, but when you're in these sort of dungeons, it plays this sort of cool techno music that goes with it. And I was surprised that they were allowed to do electric tempo music with this type of game, and I generally love it. So, I've already praised this game a lot, but we're going to do the good, and then we're going to do the bad. So let's talk about it. The game, again, has an actually pretty art style. Like, it's just beautiful to look at. It's extremely pretty. The combat isn't the best or the most deepest, but it's simple and fun. And anyone can really jump into it, especially if you're just here for the story. And it's very well unintrusive, so you're not doing 1,000 different combat things or like random encounters. A lot of them you can run from. I'm not saying you should, but a lot of them you can't. The story was really calming and relaxing, and again, pretty relatable. Instead of it focusing on the supernatural, it focuses on an actual human interaction. It focuses on stories that would mainly be put to the side and gives them more of a main purpose. I generally do love that. Also, I forgot to write this in my script, but the music is fantastic. It needs to really be highlighted. Honestly, just listen to the OST if you don't want to get into the game. Like, the OST is amazing. Now, I wish there was more party members, which is really my only gripe with this game. Like, you spend a lot of time with these girls, and sometimes I kind of wish that they got their own transformation and were able to fight alongside you. Also, the gameplay and the combat can get boring and repetitive. After a while, you will definitely get bored of this game, and I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. But yeah, that's really my only two gripes with this game, and those two things. I'll admit that the game also moves at a snail's pace, but it all depends on you on what you think about that, because honestly, I was okay with the pacing of this game, because again, quarantine, and generally speaking, the game is one of those games where you can pick up and then put down and pick up again. So it's really like up to you on how you like, you know, progressing through games. This review, if you can even call it that, because it was honestly very unplanned, I needed to actually kind of happen. I felt Blue Reflection was a game that I had to talk about because it was a game that got me out of a dark place. One day I may Twitch stream it, but probably not, because it's a very slow paced game. But for now, it was one of my personal therapies during this hard time. If you like magical girls or just sort of need a relaxing experience, check out Blue Reflection because it's a very different type. Also, don't forget to check out the Discord, my Twitch, and my Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Share this video if you really liked it. Don't forget to click that bell notification because YouTube is broken. I'll see you guys in the next video, which will probably be another out there review. I'm thinking about doing either No Straight Road or just going straight into the Bayonetta review. All depends on what's going on. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Have a lovely day. And I'll see you guys next time.